What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're ready for another Dreaming Spanish update. Here we go. So we are at 550... No, we're at 560 hours. What happened, Evildea? Why are you 10 hours over? You've been dropping a video every goddamn 50 hours while you're doing this challenge. Why suddenly are you now 10 hours over? Okay, guys, just hear me out. There was a bunch of really good language goss and drama that happened recently. I got distracted, forgot I was doing a challenge, forgot to make a video. I was still doing the challenge because it's just part of my rhythm now, but I forgot to make a goddamn video. So I'm still titling this the 550 hour update, even though I'm technically 10 hours ahead, because there's no way in God's green earth I am breaking the streak of 50-hour updates, okay? So just deal with it. Now, for those who are new to this video and are very confused about what I'm talking about, I have been partaking in a challenge to learn an entire language by just input alone. Okay, so basically all I'm doing is watching comprehensible input from basically the most beginner of shit all the way up to fluency without studying grammar, without even looking up goddamn words, okay? Just watching content. The reason being is because a lot of people talk about this as being the ultimate method, okay? Now, when I heard about this, obviously the first time, all these people selling this is the best method to learn a language, blah, blah, blah. I had never learnt a language via this method, so I felt the need to go out and try it so that when I deal with people who try to sell this idea as being the fastest method, whatever, I can actually talk from a position of authority. So, when you see me stumble over some random Spanish in these videos, don't tell me to go look up this grammar or, this is the correct word here or anything like that, because that defeats the point of the challenge, okay? The challenge is for me to learn just by watching. So, I have spent, so far, 560 hours just watching content in Spanish. From absolute beginner, now I would say up to dubbed content, which is what we're going to talk about today. So, 560 hours. How did I manage to do this? Because my last update was it was a slow one. If you go to my series, the difference between these ones was a month, okay, which is generally pretty slow for me to do 50 hours because I was in a bit of a struggle period, but what happened these last few weeks is my wife went over to China, and the best way to learn a language is not to have a wife. So, yeah, that's the best way. So basically, I had a whole heap of free time at home, and I was clocking 3 to 4 hours a day watching Spanish content. So that's how I managed to do it. But she's back now. She actually came back yesterday. So I'm probably not going to be able to maintain these hours. We're going to be going back down to 2, maybe 3 hours a day. It ain't going to be 4 hours a day like I was clocking in at some of these points. Anyway, what have I been doing for the last month? Okay, so, of the actual content on Dreaming Spanish, I haven't really watched anything, although when I walk to the shops, I will listen to podcasts, and overall, I generally understand what's going on, okay? So for an intermediate level podcast, I'll understand 80% of what's going on. I don't get every single word. There may be little points where I get a little bit lost in what's happening, but I can generally follow the entire conversation, okay? But, however, that's not what I've mainly been using. I've actually mainly gone off service now, and what I've done is I've watched a bunch of documentaries on Netflix, and the benefit for me watching documentaries is, for example, if you have a look over here, this is a new one that I've just started on, Life on Our Planet. The benefit of documentaries is that they generally speak clear, slow, and they also use a lot of scientific words, talking about, for example, dinosaurs and stuff. Now, why is that a good thing? Because those are usually the most international words, and they are filled with cognates, either from English or from another language I speak, Esperanto. So I can actually watch those quite easily, okay, and understand something like 80%, and we'll try that out in a minute. Okay, other things, I started on a little bit of anime because everyone in the comment section was like, you gotta watch some anime, because it's dubbed into Spanish. They're generally pretty clear and stuff, but I haven't been a really big anime person before. It's not something that I've really looked into too much. I probably should, because I've actually started enjoying it a little bit, although I feel a little bit perverted at times. Okay, where is the anime I was watching? I started watching one that was called High-Rise Apartments. High-Rise Apartments, okay. It was literally right there. So this one right here, High-Rise Apartment Invasion, okay. And this is my first true introduction to anime. And it starts off with basically a police officer using a knife to cut off the buttons of a girl's shirt. And I'm like, okay, now I guess we're getting started with anime. And then I went and watched 3 more episodes of that. So I guess I'm very perverted. Anyway, so we watched that. And apart from that, I also watched a series. Well, I started watching a series that was called Ghost. I think it's this one. Is it this one? Yeah. This is like a comedy, and it's dubbed, and I actually understood it quite well, and I was like, holy shit, okay. What else did I watch? I watched a lot more of Spanish Boost Gaming. I watched the entire season of, what did he do? It was Stardew Valley, okay? Now, I tried watching it once in the past, and I didn't understand it, but now I actually understand it quite well. So I guess I'm going to give you guys some examples and talk about what our plans are moving forward, because we're about to hit a big number. Because if you have a look at the progress, okay, 560, when I hit 600 hours, that means I crack into the next level, which also opens up some big possibilities. Now, we'll talk about that after we do a review of content. Okay, so I guess we're going to start with a little bit of Dreaming Spanish, and I'm going to go with Augustina because she's got an Argentinian accent, and that's the accent I want to work for in the future, or work towards, I guess. Let's look for something that looks mildly interesting. What flags exist in F1? That's advanced. Okay, let's watch it.
También hay algunas banderas que se usan más en otras etapas.
Okay, so she's talking about there's different flags that are used in different, I think, stages.
Por ejemplo, en la clasificación.
For example, in the classification. Okay, let's just jump ahead to some random point.
Roja significa que la carrera está en pausa.
Okay, so that means that the race is paused.
Que la carrera se para, que los autos tienen que volver a boxes, así se puede solucionar el problema que
Okay, so she's saying that that means the cars, they can return to their boxes and solve problems.
causó la bandera roja.
And that's the red flag.
¿Y cómo saben como cuándo volver a la pista o como cuándo volver a acelerar?
Okay, so she's saying, so what happens when they return to the pista? To me, that word means something like floor or the ground. Like, there's multiple words that I think that's associated with. I'm not too sure, but it's like it's definitely returned to a place.
Después de una bandera amarilla.
So after a orange flag, I think that's orange.
Adivina, con otra bandera.
Okay, with another bag. With another flag.
La bandera verde es la que básicamente le dice a los pilotos que la pista está limpia.
Okay, so the green flag basically means that okay, pista must mean like the area, like what we're seeing behind here, the floor, it's clean.
Y que tienen libertad de acelerar y correr.
Okay, so she's saying it's like it's free for acetatic court, something like running and something like that. Like, I'm assuming like, you know, acceleration and stuff like that. So you can see this is actually an advanced video. So you can see I'm already in the advanced categories, even though I don't really watch any of their advanced stuff. Okay, let's go check out Netflix because this is kind of where I'm more at. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, I don't know if I want to pull up that. Let's go with a documentary, because, you know, that's what I was talking about before. Have I seen all of these? Okay, I've got one left. Let's go watch one more.
For every kind of Christmas.
I need to pay for the better Netflix because I've got Netflix ads, but I don't want to pay for ads. You know what I do whenever I get hit with an ad nowadays? I just turn off the volume, I put down my headphones, and I just refuse to look. I am like a rebel like that. I will not pay for the upper level because I don't feel like I should, and I'll just purposely not look at their ads. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump somewhere random in here.
Encontrar comida suficiente para...
Okay, so to find, I think, or to encounter food that's sufficient.
alimentar a muchas bocas.
Okay, there are many voices.
Es un reto constante.
So it's like, it's a... Reto constant. It's something like it's a constant. I don't know what... While constant, like that word, I feel like I know it, but that reto or whatever that was, but I can't quite pick it. Come on, talk.
Así que cuando se encuentra comida,
Okay, so afterwards when it finds, or then when it finds food. Oh god, I hate this.
atrae mucha atención.
Okay, it gets lots of attention.
Y donde hay un recurso precioso,
Okay, so it's like
el
obviously
conflicto
a precious resource and conflict.
es inevitable.
So conflict is inevitable. So as you can see, if you understand English, there's probably some cognates in there.
Sobre todo
Okay, so there's like conflicts about everything.
con los de tu propia especie.
Okay, with one's own, and I think he said species. I didn't quite hear it.
Una tropa rival sin ganas de compartir.
Okay, so it's like I think he's saying like there's another troop or another group, you know, here, and then now I've already forgotten the back end of that. So you can see I can pretty much easily follow a documentary, get the general gist of what's going on, obviously not get every single word. Now, in the previous video, I suggested that I tried one of those challenges where I should watch the same content, 50 times, and I was going to do it. Until a bunch of people jumped down in the comment section. They said that's actually against the ALG methodology. I don't know if it is or not, but I don't want people to try and throw out my experiment just because I decided to go watch the same thing 50 times or something. Jump over to Spanish Boost Gaming. I'm going to open up one of the playlists on here. And the thing is, I've seen most of his content, like a fair good amount of it, okay? And he is the voice that I can recognize the most in Spanish. So I'm just going to open up something and we're going to just jump through a video. Now, obviously, I've seen all these videos before, but these were ones I watched actually way back. And I probably didn't understand that much back then. So let's just jump through one and we'll just jump to somewhere random.
Más popular entre la gente joven y jóvenes adultos o
Okay, so he's saying, it's the most popular among, the young and the young adults.
adultos jóvenes, whatever.
Whatever. Just random English word in there.
Y junto con el rock. Creo que el rap, el rock
Okay, so he's saying together with rock and rap. I guess he's talking about music or something.
son los dos géneros más escuchados.
And those are the two genres that are most listened to.
Probablemente cuando piensan en Argentina,
So you're probably thinking, when you're thinking about Argentina,
piensan en el tango,
you're probably thinking about tango.
pero realmente la gente no escucha tango.
But realistically, people don't listen to tango,
Honestamente.
honestly.
Entonces, bueno,
So, okay.
el rap es muy popular.
And then rap is really popular. Now, you can see here, he's speaking really slow. So maybe he's got an advanced series that I can jump into. Because that one, I'm definitely past that now. Okay, let's go schedule one.
Hola.
Okay, yeah, no, that's scary. Let's jump
Hola.
to here.
Aquí. Esto se llama cajero automático.
Okay, so he's saying this is actually called, and then he told you the Spanish word for ATM.
Hermano, una patineta.
Okay, and he's saying, oh, look, a patineta. I guess patineta is the word for this place, like this container or something.
Me gustaría comprar un skate.
Okay, he would like to buy a skateboard.
Hermano, me voy a comprar un skate barato. ¿Te
Okay, he wants a cheap one.
parece bien? Trato hecho, hermano.
Something, in fact.
Let's go. Gente. Literalmente, el dios del gaming. Soy
Okay. He says this all the time. Literally, the god of gaming, and then I swear to God, within about 5 seconds, he's going to do something stupid.
literalmente Tony Hawk.
Yeah, okay, literally Tony Hawk.
Atención.
Pay attention.
Soy literalmente Tony Hawk.
I'm Tony Hawk.
Soy
Okay.
literalmente Tony Águila.
Tony Aguilar. I don't know who Aguilar is. Okay, we'll jump to a different spot. Otherwise, he's going to repeat that like 30 times.
¿Qué puedo hacer para esperar?
Okay, we can... Okay, he's saying about waiting here, okay? So we can wait or something?
Pregunta seria.
Okay, serious question.
¿Puedo dormir? Cuque.
Can sleep, and then randomly just yelled out, Coke. or cooking.
¿Puedo dormir o tengo que literalmente esperar 2 horas así?
Okay, so we can sleep or we can wait here literally for 2 hours. Okay, so this is basically where I'm at with Spanish, okay? So I am now at the point where I'm watching documentaries, I'm starting to watch anime, and thank fuck for that, realistically. The reason I say thank fuck for that is because before this point, I was losing my shit over the fact that I was still stuck in like learner videos, but I can finally actually start to utilize the language now and just enjoy content within it. But now is the big question, okay? So if you look at the screen right here, I've just pulled it up, the image of it. This is the Dreaming Spanish Roadmap. This is what they recommend you do, okay? Now, you will see right here that at 600 hours, which is 40 hours from now, they say reading is optional. Conversation is optional. However, conversation is recommended at 1,000 hours and the same with reading. So I guess the question is, should I start reading and trying to speak in 40 hours? Or should I wait till the 1,000 hours? Now, there's a couple of good reasons for why I should wait and why I shouldn't. Obviously, I believe if I starting to read, and the way I would approach this is I would actually watch videos of, what's his name? El Dios de Gaming, okay. I'd watch him. I'd watch his videos. I would listen to him say a sentence, I'd pull up the subtitles, and then I would read that sentence after he said it so that I can try and develop an accent similar to him, okay. So it wouldn't be exactly shadowing, but I'd be reading after him and then like listening to him. That way I don't develop kind of a weird ass accent. I think that would be the best way to approach it. That's what I would do. However, one of the big claims of the community, not so much of Dreaming Spanish, or at least individuals in the community, is that if you follow the roadmap correctly, you will come away sounding as close to a native as you possibly can. However, I have the feeling that if I don't wait to 1,000 hours, then, and if I develop a heavy accent, then I will be critiqued for starting speaking, reading too soon. Now, the question is, should I wait for 1,000 hours or should I start sooner? And I guess that really depends on what you guys want to see from this challenge overall. Would you prefer to wait possibly, I guess, another 6 months before I actually start reading and talking and stuff like that to see if I develop a fucking amazing accent? Because remember, at this point, I don't fully understand the language, and the claims of ALG is that you're meant to get to a point where you basically understand the language without any problems, so that when you start speaking, you have an internal dialogue. That's their claims, not mine, okay? So I don't have that internal dialogue at this point. Like, there's parts of the language, as you saw, where I can translate easily, but I'm also missing a lot of the finer details. And I'm assuming by 1,000 hours, I'll probably have all of that down pat. Like, I'll understand the vast majority of all content, okay? So should I wait to that 1,000 hours and then start speaking and then hopefully develop a fucking amazing accent as claimed by certain members of the community? Or should I start speedrunning this shit and get talking early? Because if I start now and I start reading now, by 1,000 hours, who knows? I may be able to speak like a B1 level speaker. I don't know, okay? So that is the big question. Now, we've got 40 hours to figure this out as a community and debate this shit. And then in my next video update, based on the comments within this video, and I guess probably updates and comments in that video, I will make my final decision. So I'll leave that up to you guys. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and my progress so far, and I'll see you all in the next video. And if you're not there, I will find you and whisper sweet Argentinian Spanish into your ears.